Welcome back to today's video. My name is Steph and this is my channel Knots and Needles. I hope you are all doing very well. I am not enjoying this cold weather at all. Really, it's not great, but I'm grateful that our house is nice and warm. So there is ups and downs to everything. Now, today's video is a little bit of a mishmash. We're going to look at some patterns where if I was a beginner sewer, where would I start given my experience so far? I just thought I'd give you my opinions. And if you are maybe out of your first few beginner projects, you're maybe more an advanced beginner now, like just some places where I go to look for free patterns and some clothes and just stuff to make, because I know it can be a bit daunting because there's just so much online. So these are sort of the websites that I consult for all my free pattern videos. You can find that playlist linked in the description below as well if you like this video. Now, you can watch the first patterns, the first things I sewed. I have a video, you can find that, it's just here. And those are the first things I sort of went in with, which I think I started pretty strong. Like I wasn't very good, obviously, because I was a beginner, but I liked what I started with. It helped build my understanding. First up, we have, so I don't think you can go wrong with starting with baby quilts, because this teaches you how to get better at cutting out. So you're just going to cut out a ton of squares, really easy pattern, no faffing, no hassle. You're not cutting out complicated shapes, you're not cutting out different size squares. And then you realise just then why accuracy is so important, because when you're trying to line up all your squares, you realise you're all just slightly out. For me, I found that incredibly frustrating, but it did teach me a very valuable lesson. That one, I really struggled to cut out with scissors to be accurate. Two, to hold down your rulers really hard, don't let them shift, and cutting out with rotary cutters is for me a lot more accurate. But be careful, because like I've lost sort of the feeling in my fingers from cutting them too many times. So a really easy quilt, and then it teaches you a little bit about quilting as well. It also teaches you the importance of binding and why they say specific steps. Now, I never have gone with the hand sewn on the binding. I've always tried to wing it, but then the mistakes you make on this project will make you realize why sometimes they say certain things. Now, you can do your binding without doing it by hand. You just have to be a bit more patient, a bit more slow on your actual sewing machine and make sure everything's properly folded. So I think a baby quilt. And then going from there, I really think going into pillows, because you can make so many quick and easy pillows. You can start off really easy with just an envelope pillow, and this is just a few squares, and you get something pretty cool at the end of it. Even like one of my first pillows was just 2 squares of fabric sewn together, stuffed, and then sewn up. So the whole pillow goes in the wash. But pillow covers, because then you can experiment with fabrics as well. And for a beginner, none of these patterns I recommend are for jersey or stretch material. You kind of want only, unless you're pretty like good, but if you think you're like me and like a bit clumsy and struggle with focus and struggle to follow instructions, you're gonna want to just use woven fabric, because it is a lot easier to sew with on your machine. Now, jersey might be a bit more forgiving, but starting off with woven, trust me, it's a lot easier to sew with. It's a lot easier to manipulate with your fingers and your hands, because jersey, it rolls, it curls. So trying to get your seams lined up can be a little bit difficult. Now, I've made a couple of cushions, and it's still cushion covers, and I've still made cushion covers as I need, because it's something that you sort of, for some reason, need. I don't know why I need so many cushion covers. I have no idea, but they're fun, especially when you see like cute fabric. You're like, oh, I really like that fabric, and it's nice and easy and quick, and you get something fun at the end of it. And then you can make them more or less complicated. So for example, you can make this one. I love actually this half square triangle quilted pillow cover, and it's so vibrant. And then I'd make this as like your third or fourth project as you're getting used to cutting out more accurately. I think experiment with triangles. For me, I think my second or third baby quilt was experimenting with triangles, half square triangles, and just seeing how many different combinations there are. It's amazing how changing up where the triangles are placed changes the whole design of a project. Now this one is from Sarah Ashford, and honestly I think it's really lovely, and the quilting, hers is so neat. I could never achieve this level of neatness even now, but hers just looks so pretty. And quilting also, it does hide a multitude of sins. Like this thing here is terrible, but the quilting hides a multitude of sins, honestly. So going from there, I would also possibly throw in the first couple projects a tote bag, just a really simple lined tote. Now I still have one of the first totes I made. My husband uses it as his gym bag. I really need to make him another one that's not so pink, and I made it out of old duvet covers because it's the fabric I had. I didn't want to spend loads of money on beautiful fabric because it ain't cheap. You're not getting into this hobby because it's cheap. And I lived remotely, and it's duvet covers I wasn't using anymore. And again, it's a really easy, quick project. And when I say easy, like, I managed to do this, and I struggle with visualization. So I read instructions, I then struggle to visualize what those instructions are telling me. Sometimes I just have to blindly go in because I can't see the finished thing on my head. I don't know how we get from point A to point B sometimes at all. So when you're sewing things and it says right side together, and so that's the pattern side together, and I'm like, I don't understand how we're going from this to this. And for the totes, a lined tote, that's what I struggle with the way the instructions lined up. And then you're going to be turning things right side out through these holes that you've left. But when it comes together, those instructions then click in place, and learning these skills will then inform your sewing later on down the line. Now, I think I struggle with this just because I'm thick, in all honesty. Now, for me, I wanted to get into sewing because I wanted to start making my own clothes. Fast forward 6-7 years or so, and I'm still not very good at this. I still don't feel like I have that good skills, but I have quite a few dresses now which are beautiful, that are gorgeous, that I've actually received compliments on, and I've made these. And my journey has been super slow. Don't compare yourself to others online at all, because some people just pick up skills super fast, and that's not me. Like, the stuff I make sometimes comes out super rubbish, but I'm okay with that now. Like, my journey is one of slow progress and messing up, because I refuse to read instructions properly, and I lack accuracy in my sewing. But if the reason why you have gotten into this is to make your own clothes, I would suggest some pajamas, because it does not matter if you mess it up, right? So one of the first things I made was a pair of red shorts, and they have lasted. The only thing that's gone on them now is elastic, but that's because I've worn them so many times, right, that the elastic has just degraded over time, and there's something I can fix myself. So you don't need to pay for a short pattern. There is so many woven short pattern online, and I've left a few links in the description. And basically pajamas, not pajamas, it really doesn't matter. It depends on the fabric you made them out. But you can print them off online, and I will leave a video as well, a link to someone showing you how to print this pattern off at home if you have a printer, and how to stick it together yourself. Now, this is more time consuming, and again, there is some degree of accuracy, but I'm not very accurate at this, and I just sort of fudge it together, and it's all right in the end. If there's a big enough seam allowance, it does hide a multitude of errors in your sewing, which is not something I recommend. Try for accuracy if you can, but having something that you're not going wearing out, or if your shorts you think have come out good enough that you can wear them out, freaking go for it. Like, if you're not wearing, like, if you made them in more of a neutral fabric layers, if you're making them in something super, super garish, you may just wish to wear them to bed. If you have more confidence, go wear them out in public. But super simple shorts and a super simple woven top. You get finished garments, but all you're then really cutting out is a front piece and a back piece. So you're not cutting out separate sleeves, you're not cutting out separate pockets. It is a nice, simple project, and if you take your time, you then get something at the end that you can wear out, you can wear in bed, you can wear around the house, and you're like, I made that I made, and it doesn't matter if you made mistakes, because you will learn so much with making these. This one I've thrown in is just like, if you're wanting to start making stuff for like other people, maybe fabric hair ties, just tiny little bows that you can tie onto bobbles are really cute and uses up. Maybe now you've got some scrap fabric from your pajamas, you can make a little bow hair tie, and scrunchies as well. Again, another relatively easy project to do, and these obviously make then super cute gifts as well, and you can be super coordinating with your pajamas maybe. Now that concludes some of the stuff I would make if I was a beginner, because I don't want to overload you. I do have plenty of free sewing videos on my channel already if you want to go watch them. Now I want to just show you a few of the sites that you can go to, like when sometimes you just don't want to sew, but you just want to have a good old browse online and see how amazing people are, and be like, wow, these are all the things I can make, that's amazing. I do suffer from the condition of, ooh, I can make that. The problem is, will I make it? That's the crux of it, right? So some things I'm like, ooh, I can make that, but I won't. And then I go buy it off a crafter, because there's some things I know I just won't get around to. So first up we have So She Can. Brilliant name for a blog. Absolutely amazing. So a lot of these blogs, they put together lists of free patterns, and then they also have free tutorials. And honestly, she has so many patterns, and you can look up, there's free quilt patterns, free bags, free holidays, how to sew clothes, free applique, little crafty things to sew, projects for your home, 3-yard projects if you've got 3 yards of fabric. And honestly, the quality is super good, like really nice images, really nice instruction, and just tons and tons of stuff. And if you sign up for all the email lists, like some of these sites, you do need to like create an account and sign in. They send you like ideas and stuff, so if you're like lacking in ideas, they'll send you emails. Now, Mood Society, their website is moodfabrics.com. They do tons of patterns because they sell fabric, and I think having the free sewing patterns is a way for them to like sell fabric, I think. Not entirely sure. Now, despite the fact that there's loads of tutorials and free sewing patterns, not all of them are well written, and not all of them have very clear instructions. So if you see, because they've got such a huge array on their website, honestly, there's so many. If you see a particular thing, it might be worth Googling what the pattern is called and seeing if someone's done a YouTube tutorial on it already, or a blog tutorial, because then they might include extra details and like a few things you miss, because I do think some of the patterns do feel a little bit rushed, but you can spend hours on that site. They've just got some absolutely stunning projects. Another good couple of sites are Sew Mag and Gathered.how. So these are sewing magazines. Now, I don't get sewing magazines anymore because I think the patterns are just a lot of dresses, even in winter, and that really annoyed me. But if you sign up to their websites, they have so many free patterns, and a lot of them they have downloads as well, so you can download them, print them off at home, and then they've got instructions. I would say not all of them have the best instructions, so again, have a quick Google, and you see someone might do a more in-depth video on something particular or something similar. because sometimes I know in the magazines it's just a lot of text, and for me, I like videos and I like images. I like every stage to be shown to me just because I lack that visualization. Now, as you get more and more confident, you may want to then start really looking at tailoring your clothes. I would go and have a look at free sewing. And this is a open source software to generate bespoke sewing patterns. They just have loads, honestly. So they've got some aprons, they've got a bikini top, they have some bow ties, they've got shirts, they've got coats, and you put in your measurements and it kind of just spits out a pattern. So for me, I know I want to use this site for making a block for my own personal measurements. And then as I learn more, hopefully that will inform what changes I need to make to standard patterns to make it fit my body. Because I definitely have fit issues with trousers due to my hip to waist ratio. So this won't be a website that you earmark for later on down the line. Now, Ellie In The Mac, she has so many sewing patterns to buy, and she has a few that are free as well. Some more kid stuff. She does tend to lean a little bit towards like stuff made from stretch fabrics as well. So if that's something that you wish to then look at in the future. But again, it's not just clothes. They've got reusable snack bag. They've got like little Christmas ornaments, bags. She's just got a few different things, and she has weekly sales as well. You also have the sewing directory, where there is just tons, so much. They include images, step-by-step instructions, and again, a really accessible website. I would say their website is probably a bit dated now, but you know what? It's not filled with millions of ads, which I am here for, because I know if you're browsing on your phone, you go to some of the blogs and you can see like 1/4 of your page because the rest of your massive screen is filled with ads, whereas this one, definitely on my Chromebook, is not filled with intrusive ads. Next up, we have Spoonflower Blog, which is a beautiful little blog. And again, she has just a different, quite a range of just bits and pieces. Tote bags, masks, little aprons, little bags, some bucket hats. Some of them have YouTube videos as well, which we really love, and nice clear images as well. So I really love it when designers put in a lot of effort with their patterns and making the effort to do videos and lovely pictures as well, because it just makes it so much more accessible for everybody. Now, Pearl Soho, they do knit, sew, crochet, embroidery, weave, craft. Like they do such a wide range of crafts, which I am here for. I am a multi-crafty person, and I love just going and having a browse. So they have like quilt patterns. They've got little rompers for kids. They've got aprons. They have some really cute bags. Shorts. They do a really beautiful short pattern. They've got some like oversized tops. Really fun tops as well. They're really easy to make. And the beauty of them is they do again have really clear images for their patterns, and they're really beautiful images as well. It's a really they've put a lot of time into photographing their finished items. That's about it, honestly. There's a few patterns websites that have few things for kids as well, if that's your thing. But again, kids is more tending towards more stretch jersey. And then it's a whole other kettle of fish with having a look for free patterns. It's so many free patterns for kids. It's amazing. I would then suggest Pinterest is also a really great place to look, and sort of Reddit as well. If you just have a look at free sewing patterns on Reddit, people usually leave up links of what they found. So Facebook groups, you might be able to join them, and they sometimes put patterns in. I tend to stay clear of groups for the most part because they just seem to get a bit crowded and too many notifications, and I just get a wee bit overwhelmed. I like being able to sort of browse at my own pace, especially if I'm looking for something in particular. But that wraps it up for today, honestly. I hope this has helped and at least give you a few ideas if you are new to sewing, or even a few months in, if you got your machine last year. Is there any videos, particular recommendation videos you would like me to put together? I have a lot on my channel already, but I love doing these. I love sitting and Googling stuff. I mean, ooh, what free patterns can I sew today? It is mid-January now. In March, we have the Sew Frugal again, which is a fantastic challenge. It is so many sewing vloggers sitting down and looking at free sewing patterns, clothes for mostly as women. There's a few male vloggers. And then at the end of the month, we all reveal what we've managed to make. I actually really, I'm quite excited because I am really embracing my renewed love of dresses this year, and I have some really fun ideas of what I want to make, and I'm quite excited to find that passion again for some beautiful spring summer dresses, to just really amp up my wardrobe. So stick around for that video that's coming out in 4 or 5, 6 weeks, and I will see you in the next one. I'm not entirely sure what the next one is yet, but you'll see it when I upload it. Thank you very much.